In this video, I'll be doing a 2-player gameplay of the game Disrupt that is currently on Kickstarter. And what I'm trying to accomplish with this video is, if you guys are interested in backing this game, I hope to give you all the answers that you need to consider backing this. Before we jump into all that, I just want to give you guys a quick rundown of how this game plays, so you guys have a good understanding of how this game works, and so you're not completely lost as you watch the gameplay. I also really encourage you guys to stick to the end of this video, where I give you guys my final thoughts and opinions about this game, because I have a lot of thoughts about it. So make sure you stick around for that. And with that being said, let's just jump right into a quick how to play guide for this game. Now, there are 3 main phases during a round. There's the operation phase, the project phase, and the event phase. And the goal of the game is to have the most amount of money at the end of the game. And at the start of the game, players are keeping track of the money through these cool looking credit card dials. Each player will start with their own unique amount and with their own unique deck of cards. These cards determine how the player's strategy come into play and how they will win the game. Now, there is a few different ways to earn money in the game. You can play cards from your hand, and when you do, you earn the money that is listed in the top corner of the card. But in order to play a card, you must trigger the player card action from a worker placement spot. You must also pay the resources listed on that card in order to play it. That is listed right here. Another way, and is the main way players will be earning the most amount of money throughout the game, is by this market area here. This is where players can buy and sell their shares for a price listed in the column at the top. Now, where you place your shares in the market doesn't always mean that is what you're going to get for that share. Most of the time during the event phase, this will determine what the public is going to buy, and they mostly buy shares based off the social hype track here, and generally what is in the 4, 5, and 6 slot. So players should keep that in mind. This social hype track comes in effect quite a bit. It breaks tiebreakers if 2 people have the same shares listed at the same price. Now, when it comes to the end of the game, there are 2 ways to gain a few extra bonus dollars, and that is by having the most amount of shares in a completed project. Basically, the more cubes on a project will determine the more money for each share that that person has of that project. You want more cubes on a project that you have shares in. During the operation phase, players are going to be placing out their meeples on these different worker placement spots, and how this works is they always must place their meeple on the top row of that column, and then they're going to be moving it down, claiming all the actions underneath. So as an example, if I place my meeple here, I would get a like resource. Moving down, this down symbol means player card, and so on and so forth. I will explain what some of these icons mean right now. We have gain a like resource, which is one of these. We have this down symbol, which means player card. This means anytime you see an X means discard a card, and whatever cards you discard, you get that effect. So in this case, discard as many cards as you want, and you can move up on this track here, which helps determine tiebreakers. Also helps you trade in resources at the end of the game to earn money. There's this icon which lets you put down your shares for free in any column that you want in the market over here, based off whatever numbers you want. Now, I'll talk more about that in a moment, because this can determine on whether or not the public buys your shares. This up symbol always means draw a card. This heart symbol here determines this social hype track, which determines how much the public loves certain projects and their shares. This icon here means that player takes first player for next round. I believe that is a horse or a unicorn. This symbol here means you can buy any shares in the market, and every share that you buy, you get the innovate, I believe this is, innovate icon, where you get this light bulb. And these are considered resources in the game, where you pay resources to play cards. Next comes the project phase, where this is more towards the starter upper, because they can now start moving the projects further along down the pipeline. So at the beginning of the game, they'll always have a project that is currently out, and then if there's any cards on that project, and in this example there is none, they would then move that forward, and then they get to place out a new project. So let's say they have now done that. Then it moves on to the event phase after that phase. But before we do that, I want to give you guys an example of what would happen if a project is on a card. So if the project phase happens and there's a project on a card, you activate that card. That only happens at the beginning of a project phase, not at the end of the project phase. So let's say this Miniature Prime project is on this card. This card is called the Hacker, and whoever owns that card can now decide if they want to trigger it. Now, if other players don't want that player to trigger it, they may make a deal with that player, like, I'll give you $1 million not to trigger it, because that might be cheaper for them in the end. Because what this card means is all players that have whatever the project is, which is Miniature Prime, if they have any Miniature Prime shares, they must pay $1 million. And that just goes back to the supply. So there's a little bit of negotiation and bidding in the game as well, which I find really great. As another example, let's say if BoardTube was here and this was activated, they would get a green cube on that project. Now, why is that important? Because, and by the end of the game, if they don't have all 3 different color cubes on here, the orange, blue, and green, that project is not completed and their shares are going to be worth nothing at the end of the game. So this is something that's mainly focusing towards the starter upper and trying to make sure their projects are done and over the finish line by the end of the game. That is pretty much the project phase. Next comes the event phase, which pretty much tells you what the public's doing and what shares they're going to buy. As an example, as an event card, this would be flipped over. In turn order, all players add a marketing cube to a project, which means all players can put an orange cube on one of the projects. Now that is pretty much my overview. Let's jump into the gameplay. Alright, welcome to a 2-player gameplay of Disrupt. This is my lovely wife Patricia, and we got everything set up ready for you guys to start, so let's just jump right into it. Starting off with ladies first. You are playing the market leader, and I'm playing the starter upper. So you get to start off at 25 million, I'm only at 10. But you get to start off in the operation phase where we place out our workers. Oh, I got my 4 card. You always go there.
Did they play a card? Oh, don't we start off?
All right, we start off each with one of these.
Yes. I put it where?
You can put it in any one of these slots. You gain 4 million for that. For playing it.
Okay, and then I discard a card to move up, or as many as I want. Discard 3.
Jeez.
And then I collect my...
You actually can collect any from down here, so if you want that or that.
Oh, I can pick?
Yeah, you can pick whatever's lower than you. Okay, well, geez, that was interesting. So I am going to... This is to put any of my stocks down. That's to buy stocks. So I want to put my stocks down, possibly. I'm going to put 2 of my stocks. I'm going to do Miniature Prime and BoardTube. I'm going to put BoardTube at 8 and Miniature Prime at that, so I can get 2 gear icons. Okay, this is draw a card. This is move 3, so I will definitely move BoardTube up 3. And then I get to be first player next turn. Okay, next thing we do, once we're all done that, we collect our workers back. Reminder me, I'm first player. Activate anything in workflow. There's nothing but this one to move over. I get to put a new one out, and I'm probably going to put Ethereum out now, that the way that this is turning out. and then reveal the event phase. When drawing this round, draw 2 instead of 1. Buy 4 different shares based on the social hype track. So the public will buy Dogecoin, Ethereum, Cardbrick, and Miniature Prime. So it will buy this. So that gets you 7 million. And when they buy it, it goes into the public. Sliding anything down. Ethereum, so I would get 6. Okay, and now it is the new round with this effect, and anytime we draw, we draw. So those worker placement spots, pay 2, gain, play on a card, that's actually not too bad. Play a share, project. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on, but I really need, I have tons of cards. I'm gonna definitely need to get rid of some. So I'm gonna get a lake. I'm going to play a card, which I can play. I'd like to play this one. Sure, that's the most money. Play that one. No. So I'm gonna play this one here. It's gonna cost me 3. I get 4 million. Can get to 27. And then I get to. I would like a light bulb, but I'll take a gear, I guess. It just goes in an orange slot that you pick. Gain 3 million, and then that's it. You just paid. You paid the lake, right? So this means anyone, all the players that have shares in this lose 1 million. I would love to know what's coming up next, but I can't really do anything. But I would like to get Ethereum on board. I'm gonna buy it. Alright, I'm gonna do that. And that means draw cards, so I'm gonna put Ethereum. Oh, I did that already. Put Ethereum down, we got 7 million. Okay, gear, that's what I need to do. And then move Ethereum up. Or do I want Miniature Prime up? Okay. And that is my turn.
So what stocks can I buy?
You can buy either these ones or the public. And the cost are just in based on that.
I'm buying this one for 4. Thanks.
Yeah. Interesting. Alright, that is it. We place the last workout. We get our workers back. You are first player the next round. These are now discarded. Anything underneath here.
I don't know what that means.
Anyone that you want.
I don't know what these mean.
This is put a blue cube on one of your projects, green cube on a project, orange cube on a project, draw a card, and then you know what those are. This is just move up.
So now that I'm up there, if I go on here and get that, I can do that again?
Yeah. You can't go up any further up, but you can just gain whatever one of those ones you want. Round 3, 1, 2, we're on the 3rd round, so this will move now. This is the end of the 3rd round.
Wait, hurry up and take your turn.
No, I need a light bulb, so definitely need to go here to the lake. Can I play a card for 1 minute? No.
Move on.
Just got a card. I'm gonna have to discard you, sir. I don't want to
discard it. Okay. Move on.
Discard this. To move up 1. And I'm going to gain a like. That's it. So you're your first player next round. These things move. This activates. So if anyone that has miniature prime, it's going to cost them $1 million if you so wish to do so. Do you have miniature prime?
Nope.
You don't want to make a deal. You can make a deal if you don't want to trigger it. Like, give me $1 million. It doesn't really matter. You're just going to trigger it. 27. I lose $1 million.
You want them to have an equal amount of each one, right?
No, I need one of each for it to. I need a blue, a green, and an orange for the project to be completed. So I'm going to put this here.
What does more do?
It's going to come down to how we split the red cubes at the end. If you kind of want more, you want more Dogecoin than you want in mine. Right now, this isn't even complete. And same thing with Meeple Book. You want more than that, and you want more than Board Tube. So you're not. Board Tube is probably not going to make it. I'm going to be honest.
So I personally would want to add more in here.
You want to add more to all of them, technically. They're gonna need
all of them?
If you, but you also need these shares at the end.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I need to focus on these ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I think you bumped it up one. It's probably 60 something.
No, it was at 67 before.
Am I gonna catch up?
Oh, we needed our.
I was at 36. Back. You said 13, right?
Yeah, 13. You're at what?
I was at 36.
You're at 46. We said 48, 49.
Yeah. I did 10 and then I was 13. Okay. I was first player.
You go.
I need to consider this is the last round. This is a lot of money now. There's a lot of stuff. And now whenever you sell stuff, you pay double. It's actually a killer for the last round. And I need to focus on getting my board tube completed. So it's at least worth some money. Actually, I don't even have any board tube shares. I think a lithium is pretty good right now. A lithium.
So if I were to buy this, I have to pay it for 8 million, for example?
Yep.
That's bad. Yeah. That's a bad last round. Because I have no more shares.
Yeah, you want to buy shares now because that's what's going to get you. Well, maybe not. You have to hope that my 49 million does not catch up by my shares if I have any of those.
That's what I mean. If I want to buy this, I have to buy it for 8 million.
Yeah, that's what it says. Shares sold during the event phase are paid double to sell it in.
So I don't want to buy anything.
Probably not.
Okay, what are you doing?
I want to complete. I'm going to, I guess, go here to gain a light. Can't play a card. Can't discard a card. But I would like to place. What needs what? An orange on Ethereum. I don't think it's worth. Yeah, this is a bad round.
Yeah, it is.
For that card, event card, to buy stuff double the price. Because I don't think you're gonna get it back.
Draw a card. Doing this just to move up. Need a big update.
Any of these need likes? No. Because I don't have any miniature prime. What do you have? You don't have anything. What's okay? Hang on. I'm gonna decrease that because that's all you got. Middle. Doesn't even matter. I don't have nothing.
Decreased it twice?
No, it should have been at the middle. Did you increase it?
Yeah,
you maybe did.
sure
Okay,
did.
okay. So then it should be at the middle. Yeah.
Cheating! Don't be moving my thing down.
Okay.
I'm watching you.
Not cheating. Well, that was my last card too. Okay. So kind of close. 73 to your 92. Where do you get all your money from? People public buying your stuff? I swear you ticked it up one.
I did
It
not.
doesn't matter. So that is the game of Disrupt. I hope you guys got a good understanding how this game plays. If you guys want to check out and are interested in getting this game, I will have a link for the Kickstarter down below. And we're just going to jump over to my final thoughts before ending this video. So stay tuned for that. All right, now I just want to give my final thoughts about this game and what I like about it. I feel like the theme is super strong. I absolutely love the credit card component where it actually feels like you're keeping track of your money. I feel like this is a fantastic idea. Love this component. It's super fun trying to buy and sell shares. I love the negotiation fact in the game where depending on if someone plays a card and they want to trigger it, the other players can maybe negotiate with that player that owns the card to activate that card or not. It gives a little bit more interaction between players, which I absolutely love. I love the mechanism where, because you only have 3 meeples to put out, but you get multiple different actions with those characters. However, the bottom action is always blocked off. So those bottom actions are determined who gets there first will get the better benefit out of those. And based off what character you're playing, those different row columns are going to determine which row you want to get to first. And some of them do have crossovers. And it is important if you want to be first player, so you have the first pick out of those rows. It's something different that I normally play, and I think this could be a really good hidden gem for a lot of people. Now this brings me to things I want to talk about that I dislike about the game. And again, I would like to point out this is in prototype and things are going to be changing, but there's some things in the rules that can be confusing to a lot of players. And I'll just bring this up right now. There's a lot of things that are called the market. We have marketing cubes, which are like the orange yellowish cubes that you can put on projects. Marketing shared cubes, which are the red cubes that you put on projects to make them worth more money at the end. They're gonna get put into this red column on the side. And there's also the market area where you buy and sell shares. Now, with all those being similar wording, it's kind of hard to understand if a card says if you want to put a market cube on a project or a market cube on a project. Again, I think I just got that confused. We got marketing cube and market shared cubes. I feel like that should be called something different because I feel like people will definitely get those 2 cubes confused, and it's just more confusing when you're talking about another area that's called the market. So there is some confusion there that I found in the rulebook that hopefully they can change up the wording a little bit. Now, as I mostly played as the startup character as I played through this game, it did feel like it was a lot harder for that character to win because they do start off with less money than all the other characters. Now, this is because it fits that character. They are new to the business, they're a starter, but sometimes I feel like it's super hard to get ahead. And sometimes there's a big swing at the end where those shares are worth a lot of money. But if you make a mistake in the game, it's hard to come back as that starter, as well as those other characters. They have a bit more money to move around with, and when it comes to buying those shares, they can make 1 or 2 mistakes and still come out on top. I also mentioned this in my unboxing video, but right now the board looks a little bland, and I feel like a lot of people will write this game off just based off the look of it. But from what I played of this, I've really enjoyed it. I love the strategy. The gameplay flows nicely once you get past those confusing rules. So I do hope to see some improvement in possibly the artwork, make this game pop a little bit more, because I feel like this is going to be a hidden gem for a lot of people, because I do feel like the gameplay is there and the strategy behind every character is fascinating and very interesting. But those are my overall opinions about Disrupt. If you guys are at all interested in this game, I'll have a link down below. It is on Kickstarter, so make sure to check it out. And until the next video, I'll catch you guys later. Take care.